Breakups. They're the emotional earthquakes that rattle our very core. Sometimes, it's a mere hiccup, and love finds its way back. But other times, it's truly the end of the road. Want to know if your breakup is here to stay? Stick around as we explore the 13 telltale signs that indicate it's permanently over. Sign 13. You're both in different life phases. It's like being on two different book chapters, where one's starting a career while the other's thinking of retirement. Imagine Monica and Richard from Friends. The age gap and life priorities created irreparable differences. A lasting relationship requires alignment in major life goals, and without that, staying together becomes challenging. You might find one dreaming of global adventures while the other yearns for a settled family life. Significant disparities in life stages can create rifts that love alone cannot mend. Sign 12. There's zero communication. The silent treatment is no longer a momentary reaction, it's become the default mode. Research indicates that communication is the bedrock of strong relationships. Its absence signals a relationship in decline. Remember Ross and Rachel's countless breaks? Their lack of clear communication only intensified misunderstandings. Gone are the days when you discuss everything. Now, weeks pass with minimal or superficial talks. When you're more comfortable speaking to others than to each other, the bond weakens. Sign 11. You've stopped thinking about a future together. No more talks about a shared future, whether it's planning vacations or discussing long-term dreams. It's a stark contrast to the times when you'd visualize growing old together or having kids. As per psychologists, visualizing a shared future is a strong indicator of commitment. Its absence speaks volumes. Now, when you think of future milestones, you picture them solo or with someone else. Friends have stopped asking about collective plans, sensing the detachment in your responses. Sign 10. The trust is irreparably broken. Betrayals, whether due to infidelity or deep-seated lies, have left scars that refuse to heal. As the saying goes, trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. It's like Ted and Robin from How I Met Your Mother, where underlying trust issues eventually pulled them apart. No matter how many times you try to rebuild, the foundation is now shaky. Friends and therapists can sense the deep-rooted trust issues, often suggesting individual healing over reconciliation. Sign 9. There's no physical intimacy or desire. Kisses, hugs, or even holding hands feel forced or are absent altogether. Scientists have found that physical intimacy releases oxytocin, the love hormone. A lack thereof disrupts emotional bonding. Remember when Charlotte and Trey faced intimacy issues in Sex and the City? The lack of connection eventually led to their split. It's not just about a waning sex life, even the desire or attraction seems to have fizzled out. The magnetic pull that once existed feels replaced by an invisible barrier. Sign 8. Outside opinions influence the relationship. Decisions about the relationship are swayed more by friends, family, or societal norms than personal feelings. It's reminiscent of the influence Joey's friends had on his relationship decisions in Friends. Healthy relationships thrive on personal boundaries, the breach of which indicates dwindling autonomy. Opinions from the outside world hold more weight than your own feelings or shared experiences. Rather than confronting issues as a pair, you're more likely to discuss them with outsiders. Sign 7. Recurring breakups. The relationship feels like a broken record, constantly getting back together only to split again. Research suggests that cyclical relationships often face higher levels of dissatisfaction and uncertainty. It's a pattern seen with Carrie and Mr. Big in Sex and the City, reflecting instability. Friends have lost track of your relationship status, often predicting the next breakup. Each reunion feels short-lived, with underlying issues resurfacing and causing further rifts. Sign 6. You feel relieved post-breakup. Instead of the usual heartache, there's an unanticipated sense of liberation and peace. Psychologists state that relief often indicates the end of emotional turmoil or the exit from a toxic relationship. Like when Elaine felt freedom after breaking up with Jerry in Seinfeld, hinting at a mismatched partnership. Friends notice a more vibrant, happier version of you, as if a weight's been lifted. There's a newfound enthusiasm for life, with no yearning to revert to the past. Sign 5. No mutual respect. Disrespect, whether through words or actions, has become rampant. Respect forms the foundation of love. Its erosion signifies deeper, unresolved issues. Think of Ross's condescending attitude towards Rachel's job in Friends, creating an unbridgeable divide. Arguments no longer have boundaries, they're filled with name-calling or personal attacks. It's clear that the admiration once held has been overshadowed by resentment. Sign 4. Personal growth is stifled. Being together feels more restrictive than empowering, halting personal or career growth. Healthy relationships should act as catalysts for personal development, not barriers. Like when Rory outgrew Dean in Gilmore Girls, realizing she needed more from life and love. Achieving dreams or chasing passions feels daunting, with the relationship acting as a chain. Friends notice the subdued ambition, often reminiscing about your once fiery spirit. Sign 3. You're both seeing other people. Moving on isn't just a thought, it's a reality, with both diving into the dating pool. It's a stark contrast from the times when jealousy would erupt even at the mere mention of another. Just like Ross's infamous "we were on a break" situation in Friends, exploring outside options indicates severed ties. Conversations with friends now revolve around new dates or potential partners, leaving the past behind. The thought of the other person with someone else doesn't induce jealousy. Instead, there's an acceptance or indifference. Sign 2. There's an inability to resolve conflicts. Disagreements escalate to full-blown fights, with no resolution in sight. Communication scholars emphasize the importance of conflict resolution for relationship longevity. Its absence is telling. Consider Meredith and Derek from Grey's Anatomy, where unresolved issues often led to prolonged periods of coldness. Conversations, rather than being constructive, are now laced with blame and defensiveness. Old wounds are constantly reopened, with no effort towards healing or understanding. Sign 1. Both have outgrown the relationship. The relationship feels like an old pair of shoes, once beloved but now ill-fitting and worn out. Growth is natural, but sometimes individuals grow in different directions, rendering the relationship unsuitable. It's like Jess and Nick in New Girl, where evolving life paths cause them to drift apart, even if temporarily. The core values, desires, and life goals that once aligned perfectly now run parallel. It's evident, to both and the world, that the relationship belongs to the past and not the future. Recognizing these signs doesn't diminish the love shared, it's merely an acknowledgement of the evolving paths of life. Remember, it's okay to let go if it means growing and finding happiness anew. If this resonated with you or you have your own signs to share, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights into the intricacies of life and love. Let's navigate this journey together.